Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And hello everyone. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, today we will explore the beauty and wisdom of the Islamic economic system, a system that moves from Riba to Rahmah, from exploitation to mercy, from greed to justice. My name is Muhammad Syahbidin Muhammad Sheikh, first year Bachelor of Shariah, Academic of Islamic Studies, University Malaya, and this presentation is part of the course Shariah Principle in Islamic Economic System. So guys, Islamic economic is not just about mercy or trade. It's about creating balance between worldly needs and spiritual well-being. It is rooted in the divine command from Allah Subhanahu Wa Taala, who says in Surah Al-Baqarah verse 275, Allah has permitted trade and forbidden riba, yakni interest. This single ayah captures the heart of the Islamic economic worldview that wealth should circulate with fairness, not oppression. So guys, what is riba? Riba in simple terms means any unjustified increase in a loan or exchange. It's not just a financial sin, it's a moral disease. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, gold for gold, silver for silver, equal for equal, hand to hand. Whoever increases or seeks an increase has engaged in riba. Sahih Muslim. In modern times, riba appears in interest-based loans, credit cards, and other exploitative systems that trap people in debt. In Islamic finance, riba refers broadly to any excess or unjust increment on a debt or loan. It is clearly prohibited in the Quran and in the Sunnah. So riba means increase, and its prohibition is supported by Quranic verse and hadith. There are two main types of riba. Credit riba, it means interest on loans, and surplus riba, it means excess in sales or of similar goods. The prohibition of riba is based on the need for fairness and justice in financial dealings. Riba is considered a grave sin with severe consequences for those who engage in it. So riba and its types. The riba or usury is a significant concept in Islamic finance, categorized into various types based on the nature of transaction and commodities involved. Riba is divided into three main types: surplus riba, riba of possession, and credit riba. Surplus riba involves and increases in one of the exchanged goods without a counter value applicable to like commodities. Riba of possession refers to the delay in taking possession of goods in a transaction. And lastly, credit riba is characterized by a sale with a delay in payment, leading to an increase in the amount owed. Surplus riba and its prohibition. That surplus riba is strictly forbidden in Islamic finance, particularly in specific categories of commodities. Surplus riba occurs when one of two like commodities is exchanged for a greater amount without a counter value. Then, why is riba is matters? It matters because the prohibition of riba is fundamental to the ethics of Islamic economics, justice, risk sharing, and avoidance of exploitation. Then, my dear audience, I would like to bring Malaysia to my speech for their current issue. Before that, I want to give simple word why Malaysia become the key for my economic current issue. First, Malaysia's Islamic finance leadership. Malaysia has positioned itself as a regional or international hub for Islamic finance, offering Sharia-compliant banking and capital markets. For example, a study titled Reforming the Global Financial System with a Riba-Free System, a Malaysia's perspective, highlight Malaysia's role. Additionally, the government, via the Prime Minister, has emphasized that the Islamic economy should go beyond simply being free of riba and should embrace values like justice, ihsan, and human-centered frameworks. Second, awareness and perception among Muslims. The study found that among Malaysian Muslims, 31% said they have no problem taking riba, 40% they were unsure about its legal status, and 55% said Muslims take riba from time to time. This suggests a gap between the formal prohibition and lived economic or financial behavior. Plus, challenges in Islamic banking practice. There are ongoing debates about whether certain products offered by Islamic banks truly avoid riba or simply replicate interest-based structure under different labels. For example, home financing via Bai'ul Zaman, Ajil, BBA or Murabaha in Malaysia attracts such critics. Talk about critics, there are some challenges and critics of Islamic finance. Yes, Islamic finance face skepticism and challenges from both within and outside the Muslim community. Some modern reformists question the relevance of Islamic finance, arguing that riba is an outdated concern. Historical failures in Islamic banking, such as scandals and poorly executed reforms, have damaged credibility. Despite challenges, Islamic finance continues to grow, providing Muslims with ethical financial options that align with their beliefs. Another challenge, restructuring of financing facilities. When customers face hardship, raise Shariah concern. For instance, the creation of new contract with a new selling price or profit on top of an existing contract may effectively embed riba, according to some scholars. So then some may ask again, why this matters? Then this is the implication for economic society and the ummah. First, economic justice. The prohibition of riba seeks to avoid exploitation of the poor by the rich, such as fixed interest on debt burdens, and promote risk sharing and fairness. Second, financial stability. Some argue that an interest-heavy financial system creates fragility, such as speculation, accumulation of debt, and crisis. A move away from riba could strengthen systematic resilience. And lastly, ethical finance. Beyond compliance, the Rahmah dimension means finance should serve humanity, support the needy, promote inclusion, not just profit maximization. The Malaysian leadership's call for Islamic economy to emphasize ihsan is relevant here. Right, let's dive further to the most intenseful issues that running around in Malaysia this day. This is my simple case study for Islamic economic issues, Malaysia's National Higher Education Fund Corporation or PTPTN. Let's go step by step, clearly and fairly based on how PTPTN works, Islamic scholarly views, and current reforms. Firstly, what is PTPTN? PTPTN is Malaysia's National Higher Education Fund Corporation, established under the PTPTN Act 1997. Its purpose is to provide study loans to Malaysian students pursuing tertiary education and to collect repayments after graduation, also to encourage savings for education via SSBN accounts. So, how PTPTN loans work? Historically, PTPTN loans were not interest-free, but they were also not conventional loans with compounding interest. The main features are from period 1997 to 2003. The PTPTN featured 3% annual interest, flat rate. For explanation, PTPTN charged a 3% per annum service fee, effectively interest-based. From 2004 to 2013, it converted to 3% ujrah rate, rebranded from interest to ujrah. It means service fee claimed to be Shariah compliant. To 2013 to present, 1% ujrah rate. It means Shariah compliant structure. The 1% officially wakalah ujrah, service charge, not interest. So the big question is the 1% ujrah really free from riba? Let's break it down from both official and scholarly perspective. Firstly, from the oppositive side. According to PTPTN, Jakib and Shariah Advisor, the 1% ujrah is a fee for managing and administering the financing wakalah, ujrah. It is not tied to time or principal increase as in interest, but justified as a service cost. Therefore, PTPTN ujrah scheme it means Shariah compliant. The fatwa by the Majlis Fatwa Kebangsaan 2004 allowed PTPTN's transformation to the ujrah system on condition it follows proper Shariah contracts such as wakalah, qardu and ujrah. If there is positive, it must have negative. Then, what about the negative side? Some Islamic scholars and financial experts, however, question whether PTPTN's ujrah system is fully riba-free in practice. Their main arguments: firstly, the 1% still behaves like interest. The service charge, yakni ujrah, is calculated as a percentage of total borrowed amount, not based on actual administrative costs. This makes it resemble riba al-nasi'ah, an increment on debt for time. Second, there's no actual service proportional to the charge. True ujrah in fiqh means payment for a specific service rendered. If the 1% charge is automatic and not based on the actual cost of service, it may not fulfill the condition of valid ujrah. Lastly, it involves qardu. It means loan plus benefit. In fiqh, any loan or qardu that brings any benefit to the lender is riba. Since PTPTN benefits from the 1% charge, some argue it is still riba-based in nature. Some Shariah experts, particularly outside Malaysia, consider similar service fee in student loans as hidden riba from the original amount. Let's move on to the alternative. There are some current efforts and alternatives for these issues. First, PTPTN has in recent years aligned to its financing models closer to Shariah standards, especially after 2013 when it adopted the 1% ujrah wakalah contract structure. It is certified by internal Shariah advisor and approved by JAKIM's Fatwa Council. There is ongoing discussion among Islamic economists and policy makers to eventually replace PTPTN with a fully qardu, Hasan-based or wakaf-based education fund, yakni zero riba. For example, Yayasan Pembangunan Ekonomi Islam Malaysia, YAPIM, and Tabung Wakaf Pendidikan initiative aim to fund students via donation, not debt. Malaysia's From Riba to Rahmah policy direction supports such transition, where education financing should compensate rahmah and not exploitative. Then, for the balanced conclusion, from the perspective official Islamic ruling or JAKIM and Fatwa, PTPTN's current 1% ujrah scheme is Shariah compliant, as it is a service fee, not interest. For the other perspective, like critical scholarly perspective, some scholars still view it as like riba-like by the fee is structured. For the ethical concern, even if technically compliant, it may not embody full rahmah spirit if it burdens students with debt. And lastly, ideal Islamic model education loans should ideal be qardu hasan or wakaf funded, ensuring zero riba and promoting justice. Before I move to the summary, I would like to talk my main purpose for this presentation. My truly objectives, it is riba to rahmah. Islam replaces riba with rahmah, like compassion, fairness and partnership. Through contracts like murabahah, mudarabah and musyarakah, also ijarah, wealth is shared, risk is balanced and profit is earned through the effort and trust, not exploitation. This is where barakah replaces greed and where it helping others become a form of worship. When the Quran forbids riba, is not to make life difficult, but to protect humanity from injustice. There is come the spirit of Rahmah. Rahmah is the soul of the Shariah. It calls us to care for the poor, uplift the weak, and ensure economic peace. Every Muslim who spends, treats of, or invests with sincerity and honesty contributes to this mercy. Okay, these are the simple comparison for the conventional and Islamic economic system. First is motivation. Conventional economic seeks profit, but Islamic economic seeks barakah and social justice, but still seek profit too. Next is ownership. Islam recognizes private property but limits its misuse. And lastly is decision making. Islamic economic system guided by Shariah and accountability before Allah by the conventional opposite. The difference lies not only in method but in moral purpose. For simple example, modern Islamic banks such as Bank Islam or Al-Raji demonstrate how finance can operate without interest through profit-sharing contracts and asset-based financing. They revive the property model, real trade, real risk, and real sharing. As a result, Islamic finance today exceeds 3 trillion USD globally, proving that Sharia-compliant models are not only ethical but also sustainable. Summary: the Islamic economic system is not just an alternative. It's a vision for a just world, a world where money serves people, not the other way around. You too should know, even PTPTN, Malaysia's education loan system underwent transformation from 3% interest to 1% withdrawal. While officially Sharia compliant, scholars still debate whether the withdrawal truly avoids riba, as it functions like a flat interest rate. This shows Malaysia's ongoing journey from riba-based to Rahmah-oriented education financing. Then, the real goal is not just to reprint loans, but to rebuild system so education becomes a shared trust, yakni amanah, not a burden of debt. Let us remember the words of Allah in Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 280. It means, and if the debtor is in hardship, then grant him time until ease. But if you remit it as charity, it is better for you if you only know. May Allah make our words a means of rahmah and not riba. Thank you for listening. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.